Hi there everybody, Chris here, and I'm going to be doing a in-depth look at the Codex Eldar. And so basically what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the HQs, then special characters, troops, elite, fast attack, and heavy. Now we're not going to be going into what units are best for fighting who or what, but possible combinations and such, and just general Eldar tactics that we'll be getting into. So yeah, it should be fun. And so let's have a look at Codex Eldar. Lots of fun. Now I've already done a short little quick impressions of the Codex and my feelings on a lot of the stuff. Now I was a little quick to judge the Eldrad character, but other than that, I mean, it's been quite good stuff as far as like I've been able to digest a bit more of the Codex and such, and so I haven't played too many games with it, but that'll change because anybody who's been following my YouTube channel knows that I've been painting my Samhan jet bikes, and so yeah, should be fun. So let's have a look. Let's start off with the HQ choices. And so for HQ, we have, well, let's just start right off from the top, right? Let's have a look at the Avatar. Now the Avatar, his points change has gone up, but his stats, for the most part, have stayed relatively the same. He has the Ancient Doom. Now he's a monstrous creature. Well, first off, let's go with unit type, right? He's a monstrous creature, and he's a character. Has little brackets character. Guess so he can accept challenges and such, right? Special rules are Ancient Doom, Battle Focus, Demon, he's fearless, and he has Fleet. Fleet's a good one, because now he can re-roll his run distances and charge, which is huge, right? Because potentially units can charge 2d6 and, you know, so that's really good. Demon, so he's got his invulnerable save there. He gets the battle focus, which is a good one because with his Wailing Doom, he can throw that. And now he can run, throw it, and move, or, you know, move and run and throw it, you know? So he's got lots of mobility now. It's pretty darn good. And he's a ballistic scale 10, so he's got good odds of hitting whatever it is he wants to hit, and it's a melt-a-shot, right? The Wailing Doom. Well, okay, now it's a Remnant of Glory, the Wailing Doom, and so he can shoot it like a melt-a-shot, or use it in melee as a close combat weapon, which is really good. He's going to be opening up all sorts of cans of stuff on people. And so he's got another rule where everybody within 12 inches of him is fearless. That's not too bad. He's got the molten body, so he's not affected by fire weapons and what else is that? Oh, pyromancy. He's not affected by pyromancy spells, so that's kind of a big one because, you know, any kind of psychics and such, they're not going to have good odds of, you know, doing damage to him, any at all, really, because he's a demon, of course, but I mean, you know, he's molten, so he's immune to those powers. That's great. It's fantastic. I love it. Avatar. You're probably going to see a lot more avatars in people's armies. For a long time, not a lot of people took this guy, right? Because, you know, he just wasn't that good. You know, for his points cost back in the 4th edition, well, 5th edition, you know, he had, you know, just very limited use. I mean, the real only benefit was the ability to make everybody around him fearless, and so, you know, it just wasn't that good. But now, under the new rules, he's also got all these special rules. But then, when you pick him from the army list itself, my gosh, let's have a look. Let's just have a look. Okay, the Avatar of Cain. He can take 2 Exarch powers. That's huge. Because a lot of them are like plus strength, get an extra shot so he can shoot with his Wailing Doom twice. That's huge. You know, he's got rerolls against monsters. The Disarming Strike, I like that one, where you can disarm your guy. He's very versatile. Now his points cost will go up, and you're looking at about 50% cost increase from his previous edition. And so, yeah, but it's really good. I like the Avatar. I'm willing to bet a lot more people will be taking this guy in their army. And so, with the Avatar covered, yeah, you can only have one Avatar though, but it says maybe only one Avatar may be taken per detachment. So if you had a 2 detachment list, could you take 2 Avatars? That's kind of different, right? Because before it used to be just 1 Avatar in the army, but now it's saying per detachment. So in large scale games, could you have more than 1 Avatar in your own army? I don't know, you tell me. But it seems kind of ridiculous, right? And so let's get to the next guy, the Autarch. The Autarch, you know, his stats are pretty much the same as what he was previously. And he gains the aspect armor, he's got a pistol, he's got haywire, plasma, and he's got his trusty rusty force shield. His special rules: he has the Ancient Doom, which pretty much all Eldar have, the Battle Focus, which is great, Fleet, so again he can re-roll his run distances or charge. He's an independent character, and he has the Path of Strategy. Path of Strategy. Some might be asking, well, what the heck is that? Well, he can affect the reserve roll, which he could do in before, but now he can plus it or minus it. But the thing is though, is I'm pretty sure even if you have 2 Autarchs in your army, you can only affect it the one time by 1. And so I'm pretty sure, let me double check that. You know what, let's double check that right now, because, you know, I've been wrong before, right? So let's have a look. The Autarch, the Path of Strategy. Yes, if your army contains 1 or more Autarchs. So right there. So you only get the plus or minus of 1. So, but still, that's pretty good, because now you can minus 1, right? And so you might be thinking, well, big whoop, I can minus my dice roll. Well, sometimes you might not want. Say, for example, you had a real sensitive unit in reserve. You're playing the late game objective grab, and you want to keep that unit of jet bikes in reserve a little longer. Well, you can minus 1 to your roll, right? And so, you know, especially, but then, you know, I mean, if your opponent has the Warlord trait that allows him to negate your abilities as well, you know, then, you know, it gets all sorts of dicey. The Autarch, like a lot of people don't really like the Autarch. I like him. He's very effective. And anybody who's familiar with my battle reports of late, the planes, I love spamming the planes. But not so much now, because, you know, I want to try out more of these units, but also because at the time, in the beginning, in the end of 5th edition and the beginning of 6th, there wasn't a lot of anti-air, and so taking large amounts of flyers was a big advantage, but not a huge advantage, but it was really like, you know, there was not a lot of good options for anybody to take them out. And so as codexes keep coming out a lot faster, you know, the better it gets for us all. And so, yeah, flyer spam. I love my planes. Anybody who knows, I love my planes. You look at my channel and you'll see all my videos on my planes, and I baby my planes, and so. And it's a wicked addiction to planes, but anyway. So, he gets all sorts of war gear options. He gets pretty much the same war gear options that he did before, but now he can take a Remnant of Glory. And the Remnant of Glory are special little war gear options, and they're pretty fun. So, like, they have a really good bonus, but they also have the capacity to negate some stuff. For example, here, let's quickly look at a Remnant of Glory. Yeah, you know what? Let's save the Remnant of Glory till we're done in the HQ, because they're the only guys that get the Remnants of Glory, right? Well, almost all Eldar characters have Remnants of Glory, but yeah. Okay, so that's pretty much the Autarch. The Autarch really hasn't changed that much. other than his path of strategy and his ability to take Remnants of Glory. Now, again, Remnants of Glory, lots of fun, but yeah. But pretty much his rules have not changed that much. You know, he's still only a toughness 3 kind of guy. You know, but you can still slap him on a jet bike. Although some of the war gear, I guess, has changed. And so that does change the nature in which he operates. Like, you know, the warp jump generator, swooping hawk wings, the jet bike, you know, a lot of those things changed. Banshee mask and Manda blasters, those have changed. Take a sword, shuriken catapult, las blaster, you know. He's got pretty much the same option. If you're familiar with what he had before, he's got the same stuff now. Pretty much. With the addition of the Remnants of Glory. But now I'm rambling. And so, our next HQ we're going to look at is the Farseer. Farseer's stats are pretty much the same as what he was before. And he really has that kind of crap attack skill. But I mean, he's a Farseer, right? He's a support guy. He's not meant to be in the forefront of the fight. He's supposed to be supporting your units and such. And so, you know, you're not going to just, you know, chuck him into the wind. But although his psychic powers, you could chuck him into the wind, right? So, war gear. He's got his trusty rusty rune armor. He's got his pistol. He's got his witch blade. And he's got his ghost helm. Ghost helms have changed a little bit. Ghost helms have changed a little bit as they're not as simple little dice roll anymore. And so, yeah. Is it nerfed? No, it's just changed because the way psychic powers work in 6th edition now, it's just different. It's not bad. I mean, you know, it's good, right? His special rules, he's got the Ancient Doom, shocking. Battle Focus, which is good. He's got his fleet, awesome. He's an independent character, duh. And he's a psyker. Wow, he's a psyker. But he's a level 3 psyker. So that's pretty darn good, being a level 3 psyker. The powers he gets to choose from: divination, fate, and telepathy. Runes of Battle are just really awesome. Divination's good too, and the telepathy are good. But I've tried them out, you know, and I mean, with the Runes of Battle, you might as well go with powers that nobody else has access to, unless you're fighting other Eldar players, right? But you might as well go with that. But I mean, there are some good divination powers and good telepathy powers, you know, but you can't count on rolling those. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I prefer the Runes of Battle. It's a lot more fun. Options. Now, the Farseer's options have really gone down. He does not have many options, but he didn't really need them before anyway. Because right now he can exchange his Witchblade for the spear, okay? He can take the runes, both runes of warding and witnessing. Now there is a bit of a debate as to those getting nerfed, but I think they fall more within line of how 6th edition works and psychic powers work within 6th. In 4th and 5th, psychic powers were more like a shooting attack. You just take a quick little leadership check and boom, you make an attack, right? But now it's very strict as far as what powers do, what kind of powers you're using, and you know how they fall in line. So the psychic powers have gotten a little bit more in depth. And the runes of warding, it is a bit of a nerfing, but it's not that bad. And same with the witnessing. The witnessing is not that bad either. The runes of warding, it's really not that bad. But it's, because before it was always a detriment for your opponent to go for his psychic powers, but now it's more or less, you can just kind of, you've got like, you know, you've got a high odd of dispelling his attack. Now, sometimes, you know, when he was casting a protective spell over himself, you know, it was always perilous because, you know, he could always perils himself, right? Whereas now, you know, it's not the same because it's a deny the witch, and it's, you know, a 1 in 6 you'll fail. So, yeah. And then he gets his jet bike. And he can also take the Remnants of Glory. And the Remnants of Glory are a lot of fun. I don't know how much I'll be using them, but they're a lot of fun. And that's it really for his options. Now his points cost did kind of go up a bit, but he's got all sorts of special rules and such, and really they took away like a lot of unnecessary stuff that he had, and really he's only got the main things. I mean, and the big change too is you don't have to pay for the psychic powers, and so he can have 3 psychic powers, and they're just they're just determined randomly, but usually most of the time whenever I took a Farseer on foot, this is about the cost that I took them for. And so, it's all good. It's all good, right? Remnants of Glory though, some of them are kind of pricey, but some of them get pretty hilarious. And then the Runes of Fate, I mean, okay, let's while we're on the topic of the Farseer, let's have a look at the powers themselves, the Runes of Fate. Runes of Fate. So the Primaris power is Guide. So Warp Charge 1, and it's Guide. But Guide is 24 inches now, which is super handy. And if you tack onto that the other Primaris power of Divination, Prescience, that's almost like Guide as well. So he can have 2 guides. You can cast Guide twice. It's almost like Eldrad's ability to cast twice, right? So that's lots of fun. And then so otherwise you can randomly determine, you get Executioner, you get Doom, Eldritch Storm, lots of fun there. Death Mission, I don't know, for some reason I can totally see a Farseer on a jet bike, and if you had a Remnant of Glory, the match to go along with this, but you can't count on getting this. And so,